Ajay, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're extremely happy to have you on. So, first things first, why don't you tell me a little bit about your company, Vyrill?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi everyone. I'm Ajay Bam, CEO and co-founder of Vyrill. And what we do here at Vyrill is we're helping brands and retailers and solution providers increase revenue and customer acquisition by leveraging authentic video content such as reviews, unboxing videos, how-to videos, along with influencer and branded content for insights and commerce. So at the heart of it, what we do is we're really making all video content searchable and useful. So I'll give you an example. So let's say you're buying a BMW, you're on the website, and as a shopper, there are 20 videos on the page,
Hmm.
and you're looking for a video with leather seats, a car with leather seats in the review, and I'm looking for a car with child seats. So today, there are 20 videos. How do you know which video review is talking about leather seats versus child seats, right? So essentially, at Vyrill, we have solved this problem. We make those 20 videos searchable by analyzing the images, text, transcript, and audio. And we make that searchable in multiple dimensions, everything from sentiment, topic, scene, demographic, diversity, brand safety, and so on. And essentially, we offer a video search bar on top of the videos. So you as a shopper can type the word leather seats. Not only will we find the four videos featuring leather seats, but even better, we pull the clips together. So essentially, we've created a in-video search and a video response system to your text queries. You can ask a question or you can make a query, and we respond with a video clip. So in the process, what this does is it dramatically improves the efficacy of making shopping decisions for shoppers
Hmm.
and more. So in a nutshell, at Vyrill, we are capturing videos today from multiple platforms. We then analyze and index and make all video content searchable. And then we enable brands and retailers to act on and action that content by helping them publish that content to their e-commerce site with search, personalization, and video SEO.
No, I mean that's extremely powerful. And just to make sure that I'm understanding you correctly, so if I'm searching, for leather seats, it doesn't just give me back an entire video where that search request is in the video. It actually gives me a clip of where that query is contextualized. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. That's exactly it, right? So imagine you have today videos are short, but we also have long form videos, right? There are videos that are
Sure.
3 minutes to 30 minutes to an hour long, right? So just as an example, often I watch podcasts, and perhaps I'm in an hour long podcast, I'm interested in a particular section of the podcast. For example, right now the buzz is Chat GPT. Perhaps I'm
Hmm.
interested in looking for that portion of the video talking about that, right? So today, the best I have is manually forwarding the video, right?
Hmm.
It's a very cumbersome process. Everyone hates it. It's not very efficient. It's a waste of my time and perhaps my dollars
Hmm.
if I was in marketing, right? And so that's the problem we have solved, right? How do you find that portion of the video that's highly relevant for you as a customer or as a watcher or a viewer of the video content, right?
Hmm.
And honestly, like we're living in the attention economy, right? We're watching on average, I think Gen Zs are watching 2.16 hours, spending 2.16 hours of their time watching videos on their phone, whether it's their content or sharing content or watching TikTok or YouTube. So, how do you get the customer's attention very quickly with
Hmm.
video is really the problem that we've solved at Vyrill.
Hmm. And what you've done with the company has been able to give something that is a little more authentic in that process instead of something that is created or synthetic a little bit. And we'll talk about that a little bit, but before we kind of go down that road, I wanted to maybe get a little background on the specificity of the software and how that operates in terms of parsing through video content so quickly and efficiently, because I think that's what really, I can imagine the idea in and of itself is alluring and efficient, but you actually have to have good enough software to do that. So I want to make sure that we kind of cover our bases there before we talk about the implications a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. So today we have integrated with multiple platforms. We have integrated with YouTube, TikTok, Dropbox. We're Shopify. So we're adding multiple platforms. We can capture videos today from multiple platforms. And essentially, after the video is captured, we can then match that video to your product catalog. For example, if you're a brand. After the matching is done, we then analyze the audio, text, images, and transcription. So essentially, we have trained machines to watch videos. We have 28 algorithms that understand a video, what's in the video, and make sense of it, right? And so we essentially are parsing the video and analyzing it in 11 dimensions. So everything from sentiment analysis, so understanding whether the comments made in the audio are positive or negative. In the and are they in both negative comments, phrases, keywords? Looking at topics, is this a review of lipstick? Is this a dealership video of a review of a car, and so on, right? So identifying 100 topics by vertical. We look at scenes, so more than 600 scenes and landmarks. So, for example, if you're a brand in the selling sunscreen, you're probably interested in promoting videos in the sun, right?
Sure.
So, and those backgrounds can be very interesting and useful. We look at brand safety, which is very, very important for brands, right? Making sure that there's no nudity, foul language, or minors in the video that are being featured without permission, right? So we look at then demographic. Are you featuring the target demographic, or are the people making videos that we captured from YouTube, are they the target demographic that you're looking at, right? So we look at age, ethnicity, and we capture the age, ethnicity, and gender of all the people in the videos. We're looking at, is there music, sound, silence, noise, speech, right? Language detection. We detect more than 149 languages. Where possible, we detect, even identify the country from where the video was uploaded, right? So many different angles and to analyzing the videos. So essentially, on the platform, we're one of the first companies in the world where you can rate and rank all your video content with 150 different filters, right? Based on your marketing campaign or market research that you're trying to do, right? And the beauty is not only can you track your data and capture your data, but you can also track all your competitor data as well, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Which can be very helpful, right? It can be helpful for, so for example, we do keyword analysis of the audio, right? To identify SEO keywords, to identify trending keywords, perhaps competitor names, and so on mentioned in the audio, right? This can be extremely valuable for brands as they're building their SEO list, keyword list, or their messaging, or if they want to stand out above their competitors. So in short, we're summarizing, and so we analyze all of this, and we give brands the top and the worst 10 video reviews, for example, by product, which has never happened before. And the beauty is, we are multi-platform, so it's one-stop shop for capturing all your video content on one dashboard. And the beauty is we don't actually host any of the videos. So you as a brand we can capture your YouTube content, both your videos and also your user-generated content as well. But we can also capture your agency content as well, all your video content, and make it searchable, right? So today, the best mechanism is a lot of customers track video files by file names and Excel sheets, right? It's not very efficient when you have 50 to 100 videos for a number of different products and campaigns, or maybe thousands of millions of videos if you're a retailer, right? So how can you parse video data at scale, at speed, and capture rich insights and then action on it is really at the heart of what we do, at the heart of what our tech does.
And it's fascinating stuff. I'll tell you, I probably have a million questions on this thing. We could be here all day talking about it if it were up to me. So let's start with the different parameters. So you mentioned that you can search by for example, leather seats or something like that. But what are, you know, some of the more specific parameters that you can actually search for? Because I can imagine if you get too descriptive, you'll end up with one video, you know, and if you start too general, you'll end up with every video that's ever been on YouTube. So what are kind of those specific search parameters that companies can search by?
Yeah, and honestly, like there's really four top that are top of every brand and retailer's mind, right? So first is demographic, right? Is it featuring my target demographic? Is the video the right demographic, right? That's number one. Second is brand safety. You know, is making sure that the video is brand safe from a publishing or a sharing point of view, right? No one wants to be, no brand wants a nasty video about them, right? So which also leads to the third point, which is sentiment. You know, is it positive or negative? And what are they saying most positive about the product, right? So that can be very helpful. And so, you know, those are some of the sort of the top things is demographic, brand safety, sentiment analysis, and also, you know, relevancy of the topic is very important. Number four is topic. So, you know, when you look at different verticals, so for example, in the beauty vertical, reviews, unboxing videos, and how-to videos are very essential for a brand to drive more lift and conversion. In the automotive category, it's usually a review of the car, but also dealership video, an expert talking about giving a commentary on the car. And car is a very visual product. Like people like to see a tour, inside and outside tour of the car and understand the top features of the car. So I would say those are the four key things that you can filter upon and you can leverage on the platform that every brand cares about.
So that's cool that you could actually get the information where it's like, these are all kind of negative reviews of the product. You could still review those videos if you wanted to, just for, say, quality control on the company's behalf, but also not have to promote them at the same time. So you could still use that data and to efficiently.
I'll share with you a use case we recently did. We analyzed for a brand 6,000 videos in less than 8 days. What would have taken them 11 and a half months to manually watch a video and understand it.
Oh my gosh.
And and here's the use case. They were very specifically, they launched 2 products in the CPG space, in the haircare space. And they were interested in understanding what people were saying about the new product features in the product. It was the razor, right? Right. And so, for example, on the dashboard, the brand managers, they could search some of the features, like what are people saying about blade? What are people saying about battery life? What are people saying about gap or the blade size, right? So the beauty of Vyrill is you can type the word blade. Not only will we find every comment sentence talking to blade about blade, but even better, you can play all the clips together. So you can actually listen to all the clips about the word blade, what people are referencing and what they're saying, right? I mean, without Vyrill, you would have to spend hours digging through this. With Vyrill, within few minutes, you can instantly watch all the clips together. And you know, the reason video performs every single time it does really well, whether you're a brand manager or whether you're a shopper, is because you can see the person, the product, and the emotions inside the video. Right? So it's not just simply reading something, you know, like a text review where you're reading something and you're not sure whether the person actually owned the product. Here, you can actually see the person as they're talking about the blade. They're actually perhaps pointing to the blade, right, in the video, right? That's extremely powerful to actually see that the person owns the product. They're referencing the product, and here's what they're saying about the product, right? So trust is very important, and video increases brand trust quite a bit, both with customers and shoppers.
And we can actually expound on that part a little bit and go down that little rabbit trail or that rabbit hole. So why specifically do you think that these user-generated videos are more valuable or impactful than branded marketing videos? Is it that authenticity? Because I feel like
So let's look at the evolution of
please.
Content, right? I mean, you know, we had we went from newspaper to radio to television to internet to social video to TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And more content was created on TikTok in 2022 and 2021 than probably the past 20 years, right?
Sure.
And really, the reason TikTok went viral is it's a very authentic channel or a medium for anyone to play with and be entertained, right? So I think at the end of the day, what people are looking for is authenticity. They're looking for something unique, a unique point of view on something. They're looking for something that's fun and that's genuine, right? And that's the reason why TikTok really took off versus platform before TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's and also the short form, right? So TikTok is very short. The videos are less than 60 minutes or even less than 30 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to scroll n number of videos very quickly and be entertained and or get something out of it, right? Very quickly. And so yeah, to your point, authenticity matters the most, and it matters the most for brands when it comes to reviews, right? I mean, our focus at Vyrill is video reviews and
Mm-hmm.
how to really help brands understand them and leverage all that content for product marketing. So finding, capturing authentic video reviews and then understanding them and being able to leverage them, right? Authentic reviews have a direct correlationship with your sales. The more authentic reviews, the more likely your sales will go up because people like to see other people like them speaking about the product and brand. That's very helpful in
Mm-hmm.
making purchase decisions.
Well, and I think there's a lot of value to, when I'm on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, it doesn't feel so genuine when people are pretty much like talking about the product and talking about how much they love it, and you see sponsored above the post, or it's even
Yeah.
the company is tagged in the post. There's a certain sense of grimace that kind of comes across my face when even in something that is designed to look genuine feels like I'm being sold to, instead of someone saying, hey, I got this thing, this is how I reacted from this thing. They're not paying me to say any of this. I just
Yeah.
thought that it was interesting, and I think that's kind of the confusing part of the marketing, is sometimes it feels like their companies are trying to replicate that, authenticity, and it comes across even more hollow to someone like myself. Before we before I get too deep down there, I wanted to know where specifically Vyrill is searching for this content. Is it on social media? Is it on YouTube? Is it just the internet at large? I mean, where specifically does your
Yeah.
software
So
look?
we started with, so most product video reviews today sit on YouTube because YouTube has been around for more than 15 years. YouTube reviews also tend to be a little bit longer than 30 seconds. So we started with YouTube. We have now integrated TikTok. We've integrated Dropbox, and with Dropbox, brands can upload their own video content that they're producing as well. And we're continuing to add more platforms, right? We've now integrated Shopify. We'll be adding more platforms in 2023. So, our end goal is, if there's a video out there for a brand, we want to help you find it, and we want to help you leverage it to drive your key KPIs.
Mm-hmm.
That's really our ultimate goal. So we started with these most popular platforms, but in future we're looking forward to adding more.
Okay, wonderful. And I can imagine that there will be the next TikTok or the next Twitter that is being invented right now that you'll eventually implement,
Yeah, and also, Alex,
you don't know what's around the corner is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and also the beauty is, we just launched an API where any company in the world can use the API to capture and send a video to us to their dashboard on Vyrill. So it can also be a reverse integration as well, where they're integrating the API to send videos and capture all the insights and then leverage the insights back on their product pages. So we have a full API SD toolkit for brands and retailers to implement that and make their content searchable, right, on their pages. I mean, one of the big things we're solving right now is search is one of the. So we have two sort of components to our product, right? One is the intelligence component, where we help you capture and capture insights and intelligence on your content or your competitors. The other portion of this is the commerce component, right? Once you have found the great videos, or you have captured videos, what do you do with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have created a mechanism to be able to publish content to your product pages. If you integrate the API, we're the first company to, if you integrate the API, we can make any video on your website, e-commerce site, or mobile app searchable. And if you think of video content, right, it's not just reviews. As a brand, you might also have how-to videos. You might have support and training videos for your shoppers, in perhaps even in the support and FAQ section of your site. So we can help make all that video content searchable, right? And the underlying technology, what we're also doing is we're generating a transcript. Today, we generate about 100 tags of what's in the video. So today, one of the big problems that search engines have is they don't understand if there's a video on the page, they don't know what's in the video. Mm-hmm. And Google is very nervous about brand safety. So even accidentally, if they end up showing nudity or something, it can create a nightmare, right? It can be both a lawsuit and
a PR disaster.
A disaster, right? It's just a PR disaster, a ban, right? Country ban. So what Vyrill is doing is, we generate the tags, we authenticate whether the video is brand safe or not. And with the video, when you publish the video, you can now add the transcript, you can add all your tags or what's in the video. So you can now, for the first time, you can enrich all your HTML video tags. And you can now enable better video SEO. So you can now let Google search engine know that, hey, my video is brand safe. It features a 19-year-old female talking about lipstick. Also, it has the transcript to it. So Google is now able to read the video. Mm. If Google is able to read the video, it's able to show the video in your search results, right? Mm-hmm. So in the process, in the long term, I think a lot of people will be even searching videos with Google search. And so we're helping and facilitating improving your video search with your search engines with Vyrill as well. Mm-hmm. So that ultimately translates to new customer acquisition, helping customers instantly find the answers, translates to making faster shopping decisions, as well as faster conversion on the shopping cart. And of course, as a brand, you can get a lot of insights. What are people searching in the videos, right? If everyone in a particular car is searching for battery life, perhaps you can even highlight that feature on the video. You can highlight that above the video in your messaging or your promotion as well, right? Mm-hmm. So multiple ways of thinking about how you can leverage video content.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad we went over that, honestly, because you bring up some things that I didn't even think of is being able to actually use the search more than the search results to figure out what sort of content should we be putting out there, not like what supports our narrative, is what narrative should we be supporting, and I think there's a lot of value to that. You've mentioned a few times that part of Vyrill's, in my opinion, part of Vyrill's really important software is that not only does it find these videos, but it ranks them. And I think there's a lot to be said to having something automatically ranking the quality for you. What's that system to determine, what video is more valuable than another's? Is it just relevancy or what else is there?
Yeah, so I would say first is, of course, highly relevancy, right? And we discussed relevancy in the context of language. It has to be so a language that I can understand as a shopper.
It needs to be accessible,
accessible, right? It has to be demographically relevant, right? It has to be brand safe. It has to be topical, right? Something that I can find very useful. But I would say in general, to answer your question, like it really depends, right? It really depends on what your marketing goal is, right? Mm-hmm. If your marketing goal is perhaps to talk about a particular feature of a product, maybe then you can showcase video clips featuring different demographic, right? So you're targeting all your demographic, right? So it can vary, right? If a particular brand safety can be sensitive in certain areas, right? So, for example, if you're a company in the lingerie space, or so in that case, understanding how much skin is being exposed or not can be, so brand safety can be highly relevant there, right? If you're a baby care product company, you want to be mindful of having minors in the video, right? Mm-hmm. Or at least make sure that you have parental permission if there's a baby in the video and so on, right? So I would say that beyond the general relevancy of the video, as I expressed before, it really depends on your campaign and what your goals are.
Okay. Just to make sure I'm hearing you correctly, the company can actually decide how their videos are ranked without
Exactly.
having to rank them themselves. So for example, if I'm searching for, we'll keep with BMW, I return all these videos and then say I want to rank them by price, like where that's something that's being talked about more in the video compared to luxury or comfort or demographic or something like that. I can divide up those rankings by all these different variables,
Yeah.
essentially.
Or it could be engagement, right? Maybe you're interested in promoting a video with a lot of likes.
Someone actually driving it to, yeah.
Right. So many variables, right? It really depends on your marketing goals.
No, that's wonderful. I really appreciate you helping explain that for me. So we've talked about the software and actually attaining these videos. We've talked about what you can do with these videos, but that little middle section that I'd like to dive into a little bit is the licensing part, or the licensing medium a little bit. So how much does it generally cost to license someone's video to use for marketing purposes? I mean, can you walk me through that process a little bit?
Yeah, and so when it comes to video licensing, there are multiple models to licensing. Now on TikTok, you can license the video yourself as a brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can then, once it's licensed, you can upload the video on the Vyrill platform. So there are multiple models to licensing. One is it can happen outside the Vyrill ecosystem, Vyrill platform. And you can simply, once it's licensed, you can upload that video and you can then publish that video.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a licensing tool in the platform as well. So we capture the email address of the creator. You can reach out to creators and license content as well. A number of brands also work with influencers to license their content directly. I mean, there's a number of influencer platforms where you can actually make a video, produce a video, or invite a creator or to do so. And then, of course, when you think of review platforms like the Bazaar Voice and the Yotpos of the world, right? They can run a campaign. You can, as a brand, invite your shoppers to upload a video review after a purchase is made, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by default, when you with a review platform, when you upload a video, you're giving the rights to the review platform to leverage that video content.
Mm-hmm.
So how you can license the video and then leverage it really depends on, again, it varies by customer. It can be outside the Vyrill ecosystem, or it can be inside the Vyrill platform. We see a lot of licensing is actually already happening before sometimes if it comes to Vyrill, but it's up to you as a brand to decide what your best business model is. And again, many brands already have relationship with influencers, agencies, and review platforms. So they can just harness that instead of leveraging Vyrill. You can leverage your current platforms
instead of having to cold call these cold call these influencers or people who already made the video and say, hey, can you sign this contract? We want to use this video, which I imagine some companies do. It's probably like the hardest.
And remember, our core strength is in video search, right?
Sure.
That's what we're good at, right? So this can be leveraged across review platforms, across influencer platforms, content creation platforms, multiple platforms and multiple templates, right? And websites and more. So
and so my question there is how involved are, I mean, we've talked about how you can rank them in terms of, if there's like a minor involved or nudity involved or specific things like that. And the first thing that popped into my head was music, because I know that music is a heavily licensed entity. And so let's say I search and I find a video that is perfect. You have a influencer who's talking about my product. She loves it. She highlighted all the features of what my company would do, but she's listening to a Britney Spears song in the background. Is that capable of being scrubbed out of the video? I mean, what sort of editing metrics can you give me?
Yeah, so a couple of things, right? So first of all, we're able to identify there's music. So that's good news that there's music. Second of all, a lot of music content, video content is coming from YouTube and TikTok videos. And the nice thing is YouTube and TikTok make the first strike on the video. So they will actually flag your video if the video is not appropriately licensed on the platform. So they're doing the first strike. Currently, we don't scan the video and ourselves. We don't do the strike on the music content, but it's something that is already being done on social media by social media platforms. So hence, we don't need to do it. But I think in future, as more content gets uploaded to our platform directly, we might consider looking at music as well and the copyright issue behind that. But at the moment, we don't do that. We rely on social media platform, which they do a pretty good job, honestly.
Yeah, I know that YouTube's great at it because it's the easiest way to get your videos non-monetized. Is as soon as YouTube says this song exists, you're not getting paid for it. But I mean, with respect, the other side of the ball is I've seen plenty of TikTok, Instagram, Twitter videos that have music in the background, not because they're being uploaded from that software or from that platform. It's because someone's listening to the song in the background. And I think that kind of scrubs it a little bit. So, you know.
And Alex, I'll also just make a commentary here that when it comes to reviews, right, our focus is more on less entertaining videos, entertainment, more on reviews, unboxing.
Oh, sure.
Videos, right? So in our category, yes, there is music, but it's very rare. When someone is giving a review, they're very intense. They're intentionally giving a review. So you see less music in review videos directly. I'm not saying there isn't, but in the context,
but it's usually like royalty-free stuff anyway.
It's very rare to hear a lot of music because they're speaking to a review.
No, I appreciate you educating me on that. So with regard to this AI software, because that's generally what is powering it, right? Is this AI software? How do you ensure that software isn't invasive and only returns pertinent information instead of private data? I mean, I can imagine when you have something so, I don't know, wide scale, monolithic, you can actually probably get back some stuff that you didn't really mean to see or didn't really mean to search for. How do you does that happen? How do you prevent that from happening?
So a couple of things. So Alex, let me start by saying that we are GDPR compliant, which means that we only read public video or we read videos that have been posted or shared on the Vyrill platform.
It's not like you guys are going through emails or anything like that, obviously.
No, we just don't do that. I mean, we're completely GDPR compliant, so brands can use the content appropriately, right? So if a person can see a video, we can in public domain like YouTube, then we can also analyze it. So we also will turn off the video if the video has been removed from the internet. So we are fully compliant with GDPR requirements. And the beauty is the brands are running campaigns or the video review platforms are running campaigns and capturing videos. So they're already capturing the permission in the process to be able to analyze the video and leverage it. So we're not just going anywhere and everywhere and scrubbing data. We don't scrape data.
No, and I totally expect as much. I just like being informed of all angles.
No. It's a great question. It's a great question, right? And if you think about videos today, right, they're sitting in three silos: social, mobile on your device, and they're sitting behind enterprise firewalls, right? And so our goal at Vyrill is, and believe it or not, I would say over 95% of video content today is not searchable, and hence it's completely underutilized. Right? Because if you can't find something, how can you leverage something?
Totally.
Right? No, I mean, that's why Google is what Google is. Right? Yeah. And so our mission in the world, for Vyrill is very simple. We want to make the world's video content searchable, right? And making that searchable has benefits for you as a brand or as an enterprise. It has benefits for your team, right? Increases productivity if you're able to find what you're looking for and take more actions faster, quicker. It helps the shopper, in the e-commerce world, it helps you find answers quicker. If you're a company that also offers support videos, helping customers instantly find the answer with a video clip can save a lot of time and money on your support cost, right? And more. So I think multiple video is very powerful. And if we're able to make video content searchable, it's going to have tremendous benefits in terms of ROI for enterprises,
No,
right?
absolutely.
Customer acquisition, conversion, and page engagement. So I'll give you a quick case study. Like we've seen with a number of our customers, the moment they put videos up, page engagement increases 2x to 5x. We're seeing that,
Wow.
right? They're getting insights on what videos are performing well, but also what videos are not performing well, right? That can help you optimize your content strategy, right? They might not be performing. It's important to know, for example, when you think of demographic, right? Your target demographic, it's important to know what you have, but it's also important to know what you don't have, right? If I know I'm missing 10 reviews for these products, I better create campaigns to capture those reviews. Because guess what? If the reviews are missing, the customer is going to skip to the next product that has a review. I mean, have you been in a shopper journey where the product had 0 reviews and you're like, I ain't buying anything that doesn't have any reviews?
Sketchy. Yeah, yeah.
Sketchy, right?
It feels too good to be true.
Correct. It feels it, right? Exactly, right? So it's important to understand what you have, what you don't have, and then use what you don't have to build your content strategy.
And that actually leads me to my next question, which is, have you ever had a company come in, say they use your product, your service, they search for videos, and they don't get any results whatsoever? I mean, I find that difficult with 8 billion people on the planet, but I can imagine with companies that are still young and still figuring their stuff out that they might not be able to get some reviews back, and then they paid for the service and they're not even involving themselves enough to have, because I don't think that's your fault. I don't think that's Viryl's fault. I think that's more the company's fault for making sure that their product isn't out there. So what happens when that happens, I guess?
Yeah, I mean honestly, like there are companies in sort of 3 buckets, right? Which is they're just newbies and they don't have a lot of video content. There are old school companies that don't have video content because they haven't yet stepped up and be with the customers. And the companies with they have certain number of SKUs, so they're starting to get a lot of video content, right? So to answer your question, in the first and the second bucket, right, where you don't have a lot of videos, I think that's a very useful insight to know that you don't have any videos, right? That's step 1, right? Step 2 is understanding if you don't have videos, can you actually look at your competitor data and or look at your target demographic and start capturing and start to build your content strategy, right? So on the Vyrill platform, for example, if you're a beauty brand and you're launching a lipstick product, you don't have a lot of videos. Well, guess what? On the Vyrill platform, you can go find everyone who's making lipstick videos, right? And perhaps you can leverage them to start helping you create a video for your product and brand, right?
So instead of just looking for my product, I can look for the product at large and then see who's making those videos, send them a product, make me a video. Okay.
Yeah, right. I mean, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah. No, I think that's extremely intelligent.
And so you have to start somewhere what's already out there, right? Or you could use a competitor study to decide to target the right demographic for your product, right? If you're seeing that a particular product is resonating well with your competitors with a certain demographic, perhaps then you understand that from video analysis, and then you produce your content for that target demographic and go after that, right? So, or you can find creators, right, on the platform as well who talk to a particular brand and product.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, I actually want to pivot a little bit because part of my background research on you and the company, I found out that you actually, Ajay, won the highly competitive TechCrunch early stage pitch off, which some people might know, some people might not. I personally am very impressed by that, honestly. You won that competition with your pitch of Vyrill. So I can understand now, after talking with you for about 40 minutes, a little bit how, because you are articulate, charismatic, intelligent, but I'd like to know, maybe as advice for our audience, what in your opinion are some of the variables that make a good pitch?
Yeah. So a couple of things, right? I think first of all, are you solving a big problem, right? Are you solving a real pain point? So I think it starts there. Your business should be solving a big problem, right? Or a problem, right? So that's step 1. I think the second thing is, when it comes to pitches is, what's unique about your product and brand or what you're selling, what's your traction, who's on the team, right? And the hardest thing is sometimes with a pitch is the shorter it is. Like, for example, I think the TechCrunch pitch that I won was 3 minutes long. It's really hard.
That's efficient.
It's
Yeah.
really hard to be, to concise your the wow factor in a 3-minute pitch. But it takes a lot of practice and really working with your team to get it right. And like I said, those 4 or 5 things matter, right? The problem you're solving, what's your solution? Why is it unique? What kind of traction you have? How big is the market size? What does your team look like? And is there competition? Right? That addressing some of these topics in your pitch very concisely with one sentence is sort of the key to winning the competition. And of course, I think the right investors or the audience or the jury or the judges, they know that that it's a big problem. They're hearing it as well.
Well, and I
experienced it.
And from my experience too, I don't want to throw my 2 cents in there too much, but from what I'm hearing from you a little bit and what I've heard from other people in the past is when people are being pitched to, they don't like being sold to. They more want to feel that you are solving a problem that actually exists, or that I'm getting a smoking deal from what this guy's telling me.
Or what you care about.
It is to my disadvantage if I don't hear him out,
Yeah.
And I think making people feel that way is a lot more comfortable. Like, I also wanted to get into a little bit. I think that it's no coincidence that your product and your service is going through videos essentially of people pitching, of people reviewing and kind of pitching products and different things that they're seeing. Is there a correlation between your product, which is searching for content that is kind of being pitched via these user-generated videos, and your ability to successfully pitch the idea of your product? Does one of these factors impact the other significantly, do you think?
I would say if whether you're doing a review or a pitch, you're talking about a pain point, right? I mean, in a review, I could be mentioning, in a car review, I might be mentioning battery life, right? What's the review about? It's about the life of the battery, right? It's essentially you're addressing a pain point, like, which is how many hours and miles will the battery last, right? And so I think to come back to your question, I mean, yes, in a way, a video review and a pitch is similar in the sense that it is talking to a problem, it is advising on a problem, it's giving an opinion on a problem and how to solve it. So yeah.
Simple enough. Well, before we wrap up, I always ask our guests this final question. Essentially, in the e-commerce world, most CEOs and anyone who's really in the entrepreneurial realm is operating 24/7, 365. You got to go. But I also feel like it's extremely important to have some sort of balance. One of the guests recently called it work-life harmony instead of work-life balance, because it doesn't always have to be balanced as long as it's harmonious. My question to you, Ajay, is what do you do in your free time in terms of hobbies, interests, your personal well-being to ensure stability in your mental health space and work-life harmony?
Yeah, so I would say sort of a couple of things. One is having a supporting network of family and friends who are always there for you. When you have your ups and downs as you're running a company, and someone to go to talk to in confidence, and mentors is very helpful. I'm very grateful to have amazing mentors in my life, along with my family and friends who support me 400%. So that's number one. I would say number two is, that gives you peace of mind that there is someone behind you, right? I would say number two is I'm a huge travel aficionado. I've been to more than 62 countries around the world.
Oh, wow.
I savor cultures, cuisine, people, languages. I'm a linguist as well. I speak many languages.
Very cool.
And so I think it gives you a perspective, right? And it gives you a perspective even for your business. What's happening with video in Americas versus in Africa versus in And these experiences, travel experiences, also impart. I bring that back to my team, right? I bring a point of view. I bring a passion for building a very diverse team, right?
Mhm.
So all of this sort of embodies into your personal everything. All with my travel, it also comes back to life with my company as well, and at work as well, right? How you treat people, giving respect, right? Having treating people with dignity. It's very important for me. I never treated anyone in any crappy manner. I just don't do
100%.
that,
And
right?
I think travel helps that a little bit of meeting
Yeah.
these new people, new cultures, understanding that that might be different than what I'm used to with respect, you know?
Yeah, and I would say the number last thing is sleep and exercise. I try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day. It's extremely fundamental
Mm,
to good health and good living. And exercise. Like I'm a swimmer, I'm a runner, I'm a biker.
nice.
So I bike. Having being fortunate to live in a very sunny area here in the Bay Area.
Hmm.
I bike a lot every week, like 100 miles. So
Hmm.
that really keeps me sane.
Well,
Uh,
and it's hilly
exercise is very
too.
important.
So, a mile might really be two because you're going up and down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Ajay, I really appreciate your time. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and good luck with Viral.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you.